Okay, so we are back with another dope episode of Finding Your Niche with Niche. I am super excited, super elated. As you can already see, I'm smiling while I'm talking because when you know someone funny and you think about them, it definitely just makes you smile. So I have the distinct pleasure of having Mr. Navv Greene on today to tell us how he found his niche in joking. So welcome to the show, Navv.
Thank you. I'm glad you have me. This was supposed to what happened like 4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 years in the making.
4 years, but like
before I even thought about having a podcast.
But no, we've been, and I'm glad it's able
to finally happen. And we are here. So let's just get right to it. So first of all, you're super funny.
I appreciate it.
Did you know that?
I'm starting to realize.
You're starting to realize it?
I'm starting to realize
I saw you do some stand-up a couple of months ago, and I just thought you were just really funny, really natural, and just had a real kind of like nonchalant persona to your stand-up. Have you always been funny, or did you just get funny?
Nah, I've always been funny, like since elementary.
Okay.
Like you know how most people have goals, like making honor roll, principal list, student of the month.
Yeah.
It was always class clown for me.
Class clown.
Yeah, like it's like I would feel so let down if it was even a close race or something like that. I spent my whole entire school year focusing on that one award.
On being funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been intentional for you.
Yeah, because like I was smart. I'd do my work so I could make the class laugh after I finished my work.
Okay, so you were studious and funny at the same time.
I wouldn't say studious, but
okay.
I just did my work. I did my work fast.
You did the bare minimum. And so growing up, did you hear that from family and friends as well? Like people kept telling you?
Yeah, definitely. My teacher, it really hit me like in 8th grade though, honestly. I was, I'll never forget, it was Miss Crossley.
Shout out to Miss Crossley.
Yeah, she was my math teacher, and she called home to tell my mom that I got in trouble again. Like, it was like a ongoing, my mom was used to the calls. Like, It wasn't nothing like, where she would be like, she just was be embarrassed because they calling her job, so she know. That's what she'll be mad about. So I gave her the cell phone, so I'm like, you was embarrassed about the job, so now they calling your cell phone. What's the issue?
Yeah.
But that wasn't the issue, so. But anyway.
She called and told your mom what?
Miss Crossley, she called and told my mom I had got in trouble in class. And she said this time she was like, I had to catch myself and take him out of class because I'm finding myself laughing at the things he's doing and saying. So, like, she didn't understand. Like, that boosted me up. Like, I was like,
it was over.
It's up.
That's cool. And so there's a lot of different genres, right, with comedy. Like, you can do stand-up, improv, sketch, or skits. Is there one that you prefer over the other?
Stand-up.
Stand-up, why?
You get the immediate reaction. So it's like, after, like, with sketch, okay, we do a skit, maybe, we edit it and put it out. We see what's funny to us, and okay, I like that, but to a viewer's eye, you don't know what they really laughing at once they watch that sketch.
Yeah.
Like, because I read the comments, a lot of people laugh at different things. A lot of people find different things funny. Mm-hmm. But when you're doing stand-up, you see the immediate reaction. You see what's hidden in the joke. You see the laughter, and you feel good right after that. If you post a video, you got to wait and see if they like it. You got to judge yourself by likes and comments.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody didn't even see the video to like or comment.
Got you.
So I feel like you're looking for validation.
Yeah,
when
doing
you put
it that way.
Yeah, doing it that way.
So with stand-up, with you saying that's the one that you prefer, it's an actual art, right? To do stand-up. But at the same time, there's a science to the method in getting people to laugh in the platform of stand-up. Can you kind of break down the science behind telling a joke?
I think when I first started, I had to learn the rules before I started breaking them. And I didn't know the rules at first.
What are some of the basic rules?
Like, sometimes having stage presence, sometimes knowing your crowd, that type of stuff, and like even developing a joke. Like, everybody have a different way of doing jokes, and you can do that once you get. I feel like someone explained it to me like when you driving a car.
Okay.
Like once you first get your license, you up on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
You looking. But then when you start getting comfortable, you might lean back.
Yeah.
Might turn a different way because you feeling yourself.
That's true.
Like I'm learning. I know how to drive. I don't have to be right on the steering wheel. So I think that's the same way with stand-up comedy. When I first started, I was doing the total opposite. I was already leaning back.
Okay. You was already real comfortable.
I was comfortable, but then I caught a crowd that it was I never forget Maurice Sims. He do a lot of booking in Atlanta.
Okay.
So he had booked me to come do this room because I had been doing good when I first started. Like I was exceeding expectations.
Wow.
Like
really?
In my eyes, I didn't think I was going. I thought it was start off slow, but I was like, man, I'm killing.
Yeah. Off rip.
Yeah. So I might have been 4 or 5 months in.
Oh yeah, that's early.
Yeah, I go do his room, but I was doing a lot of
back
shows.
to back.
Yeah,
he was working.
Because I was like, it was like I'll try to hit as many stages as I can. Like I was just trying to grind. So I go do his room, and it was an older crowd. He warns me before I go on stage. He's like, Navv, we got an older crowd, so just be mindful of all the, the vulgar jokes. I don't know if you curse on.
Yeah.
Curse on. You can't curse on here, can you?
I mean, people do it. You're not supposed to.
But he was like, some of the words that I usually would say or whatnot. So I was like, all right, cool. In my head, I'm like, man, I do this. Like, I don't need no pep talk. Man, I go up there, I do my little first joke, it didn't hit. So I was like, let me hurry up, get into what I know, I know hit. Man, but I didn't get booed. They didn't heckle me or nothing. But I was hearing forks hit the plates. Ooh. And I think that sound even worse because it's somebody scooping their food.
Yeah.
They listening to me.
Wow.
It's not loud in here. They eating. So I was like, man.
Wow.
So after that, that's when it was like, okay, I got to realize. And then I realized what I did wrong.
Okay.
Well. So it's sometimes you got to present a joke in a certain way, in a certain manner. Sometimes rooms be predominantly females that come to comedy clubs. So and then if they're on a date, if a man is on a date with a female, it's certain stuff he gonna try not to laugh at because
he don't want to laugh too hard.
He don't want her thinking.
So you gotta kind of meter your jokes based on your crowd.
It's a way you gotta present it, and then something like that. So that's what I had to work on to get better with.
And so that particular night, learning how to break the rules. Have you found your element? Have you found your rhythm? Do you know right offhand if I do these things, I know regardless I'm gonna have a good show, or is it kind of you really never know?
No, I'm always knowing about the good show part. Okay. I just don't know how the show is gonna be. I feed off the crowd. Okay. Like I said. So now that's what I pay attention. So sometimes if a host is up there, I see how the crowd is reacting, and then plus now I just feel like being me on stage because people gonna fall in love with you. They gonna know when you faking. So at the time, I think I was so busy on having funny jokes.
Got you.
I wasn't really being me on stage.
Yeah.
I wasn't talking about stuff that I was really going through. So that now, when you see me on stage now, it comes natural because I'm talking about some real. I'm not trying to make you laugh.
Yeah.
We having a conversation.
Yeah. So I was doing some of my research too and watching a couple of your videos, and that's actually a good point because sometimes I can tell, but sometimes I can't. So for instance, with you, I can't tell when you're setting up a joke or when you're telling a joke and if the story is real or not. Is that a compliment?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay.
I think it is.
How do you know? Because I think that's so funny. People be like, you just flow into a story. You just, flow into your set. And then I'm like, is this a true story? Is this not a true story?
Some of it be true and some of it is exaggerated. But a lot of it is true. Sometimes you got to bring some funny into it. So it might be a regular story, but then I bring something into it. And then I like that type of comedy. You might find some comedians who laugh at their own jokes when they're on stage and something like that. But it's if I laugh at my own joke, it's something that was improv.
Oh, okay.
Man, that's funny. I'm not one of those here come the punchline, let me laugh with y'all.
Right, not like that. And so with that though, you have your whole set, you have it memorized. I assume, do you practice your sets or is it just kind of
at home?
Yeah.
Nah.
You don't practice at all?
It's weirdo type stuff. Like not no offense to nobody who do it at home, but I'm saying like I practice at comedy clubs and different spots.
Okay, live.
So it's like so like I go in like
that's risky.
If I come up with a premise, but I work it in with old jokes.
Okay.
So it's not just like I come up. So in my phone, if I show you, like I have notes.
Okay.
The idea, I might just put the idea and I develop the joke in my head.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
so if you see if something happens during your day and you see like that was funny.
So and then when I go work the joke out on stage or at open mics and stuff like that, that's when I work it out. Like they give you rooms and comedy rooms where you could go work out jokes where it's not the big show.
Yeah, so no pressure.
Yeah, so it's no pressure where you could work out jokes. But like I remember a time when like I was thinking about writing a whole joke out in a notebook because I thought that's what you were supposed to do.
That's what I thought.
But then that works for some people.
Okay.
I can't say what works for a comedian, but for me, when I first tried that and I would get on stage, it's like now you trying to memorize it.
Yeah.
Because you didn't develop it in your head. So now it's like when I came off stage, I was like, man, I forgot to say that part. Because now you like reciting a book.
That's true.
You reciting a poem, whatever you want to.
Have you ever had such a good set where I guess you got overcome by the reception towards a joke, you forget the next joke? How do you recover from that?
I'll find a way to play it off.
So you've never been at a point where you're like, dang, I don't know what to say right now.
Oh no.
Really?
No.
Okay.
Because I do if I do, I ask a question in the crowd, like or something like that. Like it's just,
and then it'll just come right back to you.
Like, come on, yeah.
Okay, because I thought, like, as a viewer, as a person from the outside looking in, when there's silence, like that person is trying to think of a joke.
Oh no! Now sometimes, I will say this. Say if it's a lot of people laughing, or sometimes I'll sit back and let them laugh. That's what a comedian had to tell me. Like you don't want to just keep talking of
yeah, that's a good point.
Get all your minutes out. Like let that breathe. Let that settle. Then when it come back up, you pick it right back up. So while they might be doing all the laughing, that give me time to sit and think and do little expressions like still in that joke, but I'm moving on to the next joke. In your head. Ready for y'all to settle down and hit you right back.
That's dope. Okay, yeah, I didn't know that. That's actually some really good advice. Just in general, like letting your stuff breathe and have space.
Oh yeah, and is this not something that like I invented in something like certain veteran comedians would see me and they would just give me tips. They were like they'll tell me like, hey, you good? You should do this. You should do that. And some I take it in, some I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good advice. Yeah. Speaking of veteran comedians, is there somebody that you looked at to kind of like inspire you to perfect your craft?
When I first started, I liked comedians such as Martin Lawrence, Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, those type of comedians. Yep. But then when I first got into comedy and started doing it myself, I started liking Carlos Miller, Kelly K. Dub Walker, even Chris Set It Off Jones. Those were three comedians because they had different styles.
Right.
Like you have so many in Atlanta, like some veterans like Nard Holston, like just to keep going on to name a few,
because that's a good point. Like a lot of people obviously look up to the greats, look up to the legends, but there's people that are in your proximity that are dope.
And then when you see them, like they in the what we call the trenches, is like we in these rooms and I see them handle tough crowds, so you get a different respect up for them. And like far as like hosting, Tyler Chronicles, he's a comedian. He's on B103.
He is funny,
man, and he hosts. Like I feel like he's the best host like I have seen, because certain comedians when they host, if a comedian does good, they try to like they go over that.
Like try to beat the
the lineup. But it's just like not in a bad way. It's just like, let me get in my bag now. But he just keep the room. Yeah, he keep the room. Just dope. And he set the next comedian up for success. So I saw that. So with hosting, I use some of that and like just a mixture of all of watching those type of comedians and just getting better with that.
And something that you just mentioned right now too with Carlos, just like learning how to work a crowd, a tough crowd. Is the goal to win the crowd over if you are feeling like you're starting to bomb, or if they're a tough crowd? Is the goal to win them over by the end of your set?
Yeah, of course, of course. Like I laugh because like I would hope you want to try to win them over. If you bombing, yeah, you better.
I'm only saying that because sometimes it looks like, all right, I'm just gonna have to take it for what it is. Like, okay, they're not laughing, they're not going to laugh. Like, let me just get up here and do my set and then be done. Setting like realistic expectations.
Yeah, you can't clock out though. I feel like you basically like you quit. That's just, like, look at it as sports. We down 20 and you just like, hey,
there's some people who do though.
Yeah, well that's on them.
Okay, but that's not the goal.
But I feel like that's not the goal. Like I have to look like it'll have to be like, all right, it's 2 seconds left. We down 37, man.
How we gonna pull this off? How we gonna pull it through?
That's when it have to hit me. But like it's a whole nother quarter and we could be down 70.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a chance. We just gotta believe. Like,
okay.
I done seen some movies.
Great segue. So speaking of movies, you're starting to dabble into the film world, into the film spectrum. As of recent, one of the biggest movies you were in, Coming to America 2.
Man.
How does that, like, tell us about that, how you got into that, and what it was like being on set.
Man.
With the great, some of the people you just mentioned. So, break that down.
So first of all, man, it was so big and like I couldn't believe it because it was something like only you could dream of, and just being on set, like hearing firsthand stories from Arsenio Hall, Tracy Morgan, and me. I'm the type I ask questions.
Okay.
So like we might be shooting and then we break. They didn't get to finish their story. Hey, you remember you was saying you'll finish that story? So they'll finish the story. So it was like, Rodney Perry, he was telling me when we was on set, he was like, now, like, you bring the kid out of me. Like, it was like, just seeing how you light up and, cause like, I just be chilling.
Yeah.
But I wasn't chilling on this set. Like, it was like, I was happy.
Yeah.
Like,
you was just geeked to be there.
I was
like,
geeked.
It's surreal.
Like, man, I could be happy and still be chilling, but like Rodney could see it on my face, like I'm just smiling. Like, man, when it was time to go on set, like I used to be lollygagging and stuff like that. Man, for this, I was on time. Nobody ever had to look for me. Man, hey.
You knew this was an opportunity of a lifetime.
They knock on the door. Oh, Navv, you in here already? Yeah. I shouldn't have left.
Know. I think that's key too. Like professionalism and showing up for opportunities. People look at that. Man. And they'll keep that in mind and they'll remember that for the next opportunity that
they
comes.
Was trying to like they have people to go get our food and stuff like that. Man, I was just on some, I ain't want to mess up nothing. I was like, oh, nah, I go get it.
Yeah.
I go do Navv, we got a good shot. I go get it.
Right.
I don't want nobody to go say, Navv, he was hard to deal with. Hey, man, I'm not getting kicked off this set for nothing.
For nothing.
So we shot about 3 weeks.
Okay.
So a lot of our stuff got cut, but not just a lot of our stuff. A lot of stuff was cut out the movie, period. But I had to realize it was just the experience. Sometimes God will just show you, like, you belong in certain rooms, you belong around certain people. Like, it's not for the world to validate it yet. And that's what I was caught up on. I was like, I knew what we shot. I knew certain lines and certain scenes. I was like, oh, man, that scene make it. Well, I'm not saying if that scene make it, because at the time, I'm not thinking nothing getting cut.
Getting cut,
So I was like, ooh, when it come out,
ooh, we gonna hurt him.
I'm out of here. That's how I was thinking. So when the first time I saw the movie, I was like, I look at Rodney, I was like, they cut it out. So, but Rodney had been telling me, he was like, you got to be careful because sometimes if something's not needed in the movie, they'll cut it out because to make the movie, they don't want to hold it up.
Right, the pacing.
So Tracy Morgan did a Good Morning America interview.
Okay.
And they showed our picture. So I'm extra geek. I was like, right now, I told you. I said, you got to start listening to me.
Yeah.
Whoop de whoop. We got there. I said, man. But.
Yeah, it is Hollywood, though.
Yeah, and then after I got that first, residual check, I was like, hey, man, they could cut all they need to cut out of there, man.
They cutting these checks.
They cutting these checks, man. You hear me? So
That's
I wasn't
cool.
tripping, man. But it was just an experience, just being around Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Like, I think when the first day we had rehearsal, we chilling. I'm around them already. Tracy Morgan, Leslie Jones, Rodney Perry, Lunell, like all us in there.
Wow.
We just chilling. Man, Eddie Murphy walks in the room. It's like everybody just got quiet and looked.
Really?
Because that's when it hit me. I'm like, I'm really here.
Yeah.
Like, this really Eddie Murphy.
Crazy.
And dog, when I tell you he's so cool,
yeah,
I ain't got a bad story about him, man.
Wow.
It was one scene. He was like, we kind of improv a little bit. So, like, he looked and he was shaking his head. He was like, yeah, let them do that. He was like, and give them this, give them that. They cut it all out, but still,
he had the
he was like, man, let them rock. So he wasn't no hater or nothing like that. It was just like,
wow,
he just cool, man.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And then how did you even get the opportunity? Like, how did that gig present itself?
Shout out to George Pierre. Shout out to Gil Talent.
Okay.
George, they had me audition for one role, which was Uncle Reem that Tracy Morgan got.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't know what it was for because they had the movie classified as The Quest.
Gotcha.
At the time. So when I auditioned and I didn't get a call back, I wasn't tripping. Like, this is how acting was going for me.
Yeah.
Like, it was just another audition. So that's when they told me, yeah, that the movie The Quest, that was for Coming to America too. I was like, man.
Wow.
So I was like, I could have used that. So I was like, they came back. They was like, we want you, George was like, I want you to come read for this role for Coming to America too. So I was like, I already read for it.
Wow.
He was like, nah, this is a different role. So I was like, okay, cool. So I walk in. When I tell you, anybody who's a comedian in the Southeast region was in this room.
Whoa.
Man, I walk in, there's about 50 people. I'm like, man,
competition.
Yeah, you done brought me to this.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
I'm looking around the room, though. I was like, I see everybody, like, mostly everybody in shape, built. I'm like, man, if they looking for somebody short and fat, I'm straight, because I stand out. I'm looking, I'm like, everybody here, like, they work out. So I was like, if they need somebody short and fat, I'm in the game.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm good. So I'm sitting back. I look up, now Rodney Perry walks in. I said, man, because he's shorter and he a little fatter.
Yeah.
So I said, I got competition. Because at the time, I'm only looking like that's my only competition. If they need somebody short and fat, it's just me and him.
Yeah.
We don't. Too. So then they call me in, and he comes in after me. So I'm not thinking nothing of it. So I left. Yeah. I really wasn't tripping, though. That's what I was thinking at the time.
Yeah,
I'm not even thinking I was going to get the role.
Right.
So they called back a week later. They was like, Navv, what's your blockout date from August something to October, late October? So I was like, it all depends. They was like, well, the people at Paramount, they trying to see. I was like, well, if I do got something, I don't have it now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let them know I'm good. So she was like, okay, we'll let them know. But then another week go by. So I called her. I called Genya. I was like, Genya, have you heard from them? She was like, nah. She was like, but no news is good news because that means they haven't booked it. I was
right.
like, okay.
It's still pending. Wow.
3 days later, she called. She was like, Navv, you got the role. So I was like,
you got the role. Let's stop right there. So you hear those words. You got the role.
Man, at the time I'm driving to Cats to do. I was supposed to host Cats. It was on the Tuesday. I'll never forget. So I'm driving, and I was like, man, huh? She was like, yeah, you got the role. She was like, you don't want to say anything? I was like, I do, but I want to cry. But I can't.
Yeah.
So she started laughing. So I was like, man. I was like, so, like, I got it for real? She was like, yeah. So I called. The first thing I do when she finished that, she was like, we'll call you in a minute after I talk to Wardrobe and whoever she had to talk to. So I called my mama. I'm telling my mama. She was like, for real? So I was like, this the lady calling back. I'm finna merge you in. Don't say nothing. So she was like, okay.
Not the merge.
So she calls it. So I'm talking to her. She telling me when I gotta go and, get fitted for wardrobe, and they gonna send the contract over and all that. So I'm just, at this moment, I'm geeked.
Wow.
I'm like, man.
God.
So yeah, I hang up with her. I didn't really tell nobody till after it was done. Mm-hmm. What comedy, they had TMZ and stuff like that. So comedians had started seeing little pictures, and they, saw me and was in it. So then once they knew, but I didn't put anything on my page or whatnot until it was over.
Wow.
But like just, I had put a clip from when I was rapping, when I rapped, and Arsenio Hall. Like, I didn't get the complete one because Tracy Morgan showed so much love before Arsenio Hall showed love. But it was like that clip that somebody recorded with Arsenio Hall showing love. It was like, dog.
Wow.
Like, it was big. Dog.
Surreal.
Man.
Okay, you can stop it and hit it back. And then, can you text Lawrence from my phone and tell him 1:30? That was good enough.
Speechless.
And you can start it back, John. Almost done. So, you kind of spoke about it a little bit, like the competition and seeing other people do comedy and trying to like actually go for that role. Can you speak about the level of confidence that you have to have? Because to me, stand-up comedy is like totally vulnerable, right? You are literally putting yourself out there to get instant reaction. Right. How did you, or are you still building the confidence to actually go out there and tell a joke? Where does that come from?
If I think I heard your question right, like basically you asking me like confidence to like go on stage, but like with other comedians there or something like that. I think like every comedian is different. Like I feel like I have to be different. So I'm being myself. Like everybody not gonna like my jokes. Everybody not gonna like my style of comedy. And I'm cool with that. But it's gonna be people who will. And if you like real stand-up comedian, you're gonna like me.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be me. So that's why I never look and see, like, I get hyped if I see a comedian before me doing good.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So you don't get intimidated by that?
Nah, you got the room high.
Yeah.
All I gotta do is come and ride the wave. Why I want you to do bad?
Yeah, that's a good
Because
point.
now I gotta come pick it up.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about it that way.
So look, if they see someone do bad, they be like, oh, it's one of these type of nights. So now I gotta really go out here and prove myself, like come straight out and get in the bag.
Yeah.
If the room already up, oh man, it's smooth sailing.
Wow.
So I'm never tripping on a comedian doing good before me or doing good after me. Like, nah, that's slick. Like I don't want to. Like I will say like that's slick being a hater.
Okay.
Like that's what it boils down to. Like you could do good and I could do good. I don't need you to do bad for me to do good.
Ooh, say that again now.
Yeah, so that's how
That's
be.
a bar.
So, but a lot of comedians not like that though. They hate.
Wow.
There's a lot of people, and then like I think with in the field that we are in, and it's so many like limited opportunities.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down for people to do. Like they feel like I gotta do this. I can't have this as competition, or you're just not knowing that person might could help you.
That's true.
Because there's been comedians in the game that done helped me, and if I would have been a hater, I would have never got help.
That's true. With telling jokes, is there, because you talked about rules a little bit earlier, is there a topic that's always funny where you're like, okay, I know I'm going to talk about this because this always gets people going?
I think me talking about my physique, it always like I don't know what it is like. It could be somebody not even paying attention. Like you might catch the security guard, a bathroom man, scream out laughing. Like if I make jokes about my hips or like that I'm being, like all that type of stuff. Like,
yeah. So always that. So the hips, the physique.
Yeah, the physique.
It's always funny.
Yeah, that always get them going.
So the fact that you tell jokes and that you're making strides in it and doing it very well, was there something else that you thought you were supposed to do? How did you actually find your niche in joke telling?
Man, niche, to be honest, like I never wanted to do anything else. I never like my mom would say, like, because when I was 3 or 4, she was going to nursing school. So I used to tell my family, like, I was going to be a doctor so me and my mom could work at the same hospital.
Yeah.
And, because she was, going to nursing school.
Yeah.
Long story short, she quit nursing school and she became an educator.
Okay.
So, and she one of the best educators in the world.
Hey.
So, other than that, that's been it.
So you always...
I wanted to do... I wouldn't necessarily say stand up. Mm-hmm. I wanted to act though. I wanted to be in movies.
Okay.
I was in a play in 5th grade. They did a Christmas Carol play. Mm-hmm. I played Scrooge, the lead character.
Oh, Scrooge.
And I treated it as like I was a start in.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell me different. Like I didn't have to go to class that day.
Yeah. Because
I had to perform before the 1st to 3rd graders and the 4th and 5th graders. Yeah. And then that night for the parents at the PTA meeting. Like,
wow.
So I knew then.
Yeah. It was already... And
then, it was a script, but it was certain parts I would improv. Like,
playing around with it.
I knew then, like, like it might sound crazy. And I remember when they told me... It might sound crazy because we was in music class because the music teacher told us who had got the role. Yeah. Because we were just reading music class, like, to see who would get it. When they told me I got the role, the whole class clapped.
Wow.
Like, because you got to think,
excited.
It's a whole school, like, he's in our class. He's going to be the star of the play. The class happy.
Yeah. They were like, you got on, we all on now.
Miss Borum's class. Yeah, I was in Miss Borum's class. So the whole class was happy.
Yeah, that's dope that you kind of knew that from the beginning. So obviously.
But to be honest with you, like sometimes you can't have, like you can have plans, but it don't happen the way you think it will happen. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, I did Your Mama when I was in high school, MTV Your Mama show. So I won a couple episodes on that. So I felt like people would see me on TV, they'll see me and they would start calling. Then I get in this and get in that. That didn't happen. I didn't know about headshots. I didn't know about finding an agent. I didn't know nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's still stuff I'm learning now, but I was 17 at the time. Mm-hmm. So I thought I was going to take off from that.
Yeah, that's a good point, too, because I was just about to ask you, like, obviously the nature of what you do is comedic. There's a lot of fun involved. There's a lot of margin to kind of, like, be creative. But at the same token, with that being said, is, like, you still have to take the craft seriously.
Oh, definitely.
Right? And so can you talk to the process of, like, taking your craft seriously as a comedian?
Man, it's a marathon. Like, and it might sound cliche when you hear people say it's a marathon. Mm-hmm. It really is, though. Because I feel like you could burn out too fast if you think like that. Like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. Like sometimes we have to sit and like think. Like what can I do differently? And sometimes I know with me, I get in my way a lot.
Okay, how?
Like even with putting content out, if I'm tired of something, so it was a point of time I was like, man, I think they tired of the shift leader. I do a shift leader character. I was like, I done did it so much. I've been doing it for the last 3-4 years, man. This junk getting old. So I stopped doing shift leader. So I see somebody out, and I would see a couple people out. They was like, hey, and they wouldn't even know my name. They're like, shift leader. Like that's how they are. But see, I still like greet them. They were like, man, what a skit set, man. You ain't did it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get back to him. He was like, man, that's what we need. Yeah. Like, that's how they talk.
Wow.
So I was like, man, that's when I felt like it was like somebody had told me they were going through some like deep depression. It was like, man, it's like, cause they feel like that's comedy. They not coming to comedy shows, so they be like, man, just your comedy going on your page, it got me out of like a deep hole.
Wow.
So when that said, I was like, man, this jump bigger than me. I can't be thinking just because I'm tired of something.
True.
Like, what you in it for?
Yeah.
I'm not in it to make me laugh.
Yeah. Do you think about it from that scope or from that lens that you literally can change somebody's life by telling a joke?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about it at that point. I wasn't, until sometimes you be at shows and somebody might tell you like, such and such just passed in my family. Like, I needed this laugh. I need it tonight.
Yeah.
So that's why when you were saying like, you know, people, like when you bomb and do you try to win the crowd over, it might be that one joke that you tell that might release some pressure off somebody or get them that smile or laugh they needed. So, yeah, don't never quit. Yeah,
and that's pretty common. Obviously, everybody goes through things. Everybody has trials in their life. How do you continue to try to be funny in the midst of being engulfed in your own situation that are, you know, not favorable?
Because it's just like what I'm supposed to do, to be honest. Like, I didn't take up any classes. I didn't, you know, study anything or nothing like that. It's just like, I feel like even like around the house, like when I was growing up, I would try to make my mom and dad laugh and my sister laugh. Like my mom probably had a bad day. I wouldn't know, but it was just like I would try to make them laugh. Like it's been a time, I want to say it was 2 years ago. My grandmother had passed, but I still had to do a show. I go do the show.
Wow.
I do the show.
So you're still able to operate in a comedic sense, even when there's things in your life that are not worth laughing about.
You got to. Like, especially if this what you want. Like, it becomes a time where you got to take a break for you. But it's like when you come out, this what you signed up for. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know you familiar with people in the military. Like, they go through things. They still gotta go.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. So I look at it that way. I compare comedy to a lot of things. I compare it to sports a lot. I compare it to the military. What else I compare it to? I compare it to politicians.
Yeah. Wow. Another interesting aspect about comedy, and you hear this a lot with a lot of other fields, but I heard it's not very lucrative. It's not a very lucrative business. Or is that changing now?
Explain lucrative. Like I know what it means.
Can you get a bag with doing stand-up?
Man, I almost cussed. But yeah. Hell yeah, you could get a bag.
You can? Okay, just let's talk some general, just a hypothetical numbers.
People out here, like, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying I'm getting a bag. But it's people that's really getting a bag from it, dog. And it's like...
So if you do let's say you do a 30-minute set at, I don't know, Atlanta Comedy Theater, what is that price range looking like? And you've been doing comedy, let's say, for 5 years now.
It depends on who you are.
Oh, okay.
It definitely depends on who you are and what kind of fan base you have. You might have a door deal where you get the whole door.
What does that mean?
Like a percentage that, like, you buy out the comedy club. Everybody who buys a ticket, you get that.
Okay. How many people come through the door?
And it could be a 300 room, and then for $30 a ticket, you do the math. They might do 2 shows that day.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So you're telling me you can become a millionaire by telling jokes? I mean, obviously the greats do it, but
definitely. Man, Country Wayne, he done did interviews telling you that he done made, I want to say, $300,000 a month off social media putting up skits.
Wow.
So it's like,
wow,
it's definitely money in it. Like, that's not even a question. So it's like, I've been doing stand up for 7 years. I haven't worked in 7 years.
Wow. So
it's like, don't get me wrong, like, some months it was like, oh man, but then it was some months like, man, it's the life. So it just depends on what type of season it is and what's going on, like with stand-up comedy. But yeah, man, it's definitely money out here, especially like with colleges.
Yeah.
They pay for entertainment. So it's like you could go do college shows, that type of stuff. And it's so many events. Like you always gonna need live entertainment in some shape or form, whether it's the host or things like that. And it's just like stay busy.
Yeah.
But like me, I never got caught up in the money.
So you don't think about the money, you just worry about telling the joke.
No, I never said that. I said I never got caught up in the money.
Okay.
I definitely want the money, but I never get, like, when I say caught up in the money, like, say for instance, like when I first started, like if a show was this much, like, man, nah, I need that. I'm not finna go do it. But it was like perfecting my craft and getting better. So sometimes if you think of it that way, you won't do no shows if you think you're not worth a certain amount. Cause I don't think sometimes with the money that I get now that I know I could get way more, but it's like sometimes it might be the exposure. Sometimes you might be in a different city and somebody might see you and want to book you for another show. Yeah. So it's like you always got to look at it like that. So.
Now that you've had some skin in the game too, let's just say today somebody calls you and it's an amazing cause, I guess, for you to come and do stand-up. Would you ever would you do it for free?
Yeah, I do stand-up for free.
Still, to this day? You'll do something for free?
Like, you talking about doing a show?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Like, if I do stand-up for free, it's me coming and doing pop-up like I go hit the stage. But, no, just like...
No, just like on a whim, like, hey, can you help us do this? Like, we're trying to... Like a cause. You still wouldn't do it for free?
Like, if it's somebody that I have that relationship with and they need me, yeah.
Oh, okay. On that tip, you would.
Yeah. Like, if I know you and you've been supporting, you done supported me in some way, something like that. But if it's somebody I never met, you're not finna email me, hey, such and such, I'm doing the show, could you just, hey, okay. Yeah, I'm not that type of. No. Yeah.
What makes
I'm not a non-profit organization. I'm damn near not profit. I know I ain't finna be non-profit.
I'm weak. Okay, so what makes you laugh?
Like, what makes me laugh? Like real life. Like real life. Like going around, like family stuff like that, like joking and playing, like, you know, that type of stuff, and stuff that really happens. It might be stuff on social media makes me laugh. Yeah. TV shows, all that type of stuff. The same stuff make you laugh.
Yeah, that's true. I guess because you're laughing is
you talking like I'm an alien or something. What makes you laugh? I'm human, man.
I guess, because laughing is like a universal thing. So what makes one person laugh makes most people laugh.
Yeah, so it's like it different things. It might be to a extent. Yeah. What makes me laugh. But
all right, and speaking of making people laugh, if people want to laugh at some of your jokes, can you tell them what you have going on, what you have coming up, how they can find you, and
oh, definitely. I'm on social media at Navv Greene. That's NAVVGREENE. On all social media. I just been starting to, they told me I have to update and put stuff on YouTube. I never was putting stuff on YouTube. Okay. I did it when I first started, but so now I'm updating YouTube and, you know, getting my presence on Facebook better. But right now I'm doing 85 South show. They doing a tour. So
congratulations. I saw that. So that's dope.
I'm back working. Yep. Working with them. Yep. Doing my own shows and stuff like that.
I was gonna ask you too, Navv, that's your government name? Like, that's your name, or is that your stage name?
It's my stage name. Okay. But my real name is Navaris.
Oh, okay. You didn't want to go with that?
No, but people calling me Navv before I ever hit the stage. Okay. So it never, so technically I'm going by my name. Because people calling me Navv since I was in high school.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I always wondered that. Like most comedians, though, I guess in that actual industry, people usually say they stick with their regular name.
Yeah, so it's not like I'm the Incredible coming out on stage. It's some people call me. I ain't sit back and come up with no name.
Yeah, especially when you come out and then they see your physique.
Yeah, I could go by the Incredible.
You could?
Yeah. Everybody has their own eye.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, man.
And breaking down really how to tell a joke. I think you're very funny. You're obviously going to go far. You're making great strides. If you guys have not seen some of his stuff, definitely, like he said, go check out his all social media platforms.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of skits, a lot of sketches, and just jokes, and you're just a naturally funny, amazing person. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yep, it's been real. All right, y'all, tap in.